2019 Field Trainer of the Year, earned that Ladies of Justice Award last year in 2020. And just happy to be on the call. It's a new year, new opportunities. And so we still host the accountability call on Thursday nights. That'll start back up this week. For those that are working in the space, it's more like a mastermind call. So looking forward to connect with those associates that, get on that call every Thursday night. And like I said, just excited about the division. Excited about a lot of the new small biz changes. I think that is phenomenal when it comes to CDLP with the small biz. So if you haven't checked it out, you just want to always remember that you want to service your whole client. CDLP is a specialty, but at the end of the day, most likely that person has a small business as an owner operator, or they have a family, and some of the other supplements will cover them as well. So I always look to cross sell in this division. That gives you a lot of opportunity here. I know they'll talk about the changes now that we have PC points in the CDLP space. Just be mindful to be a great customer service rep so you can keep that member on the books, like all your other members. So with that, I'll turn it over to you, Dunbar.
All right, fantastic. So Robert Dunbar, been here 11 years, trainer for 6 years, CDLP trainer for 3 years, 2.5 years, something like that. A little bit of time. And we really love the CDLP space because we just like that. There's not a whole bunch of people in that space, so you don't run into as much. I already have LegalShield already, which is a good thing. And then I also like it because I like that I can pull detailed information on the company. And when I get that detailed information on the company, it assists me in moving forward with working with that company, as opposed to walking in blind. So I like that I can do that in this space. And I kind of like the logistics space as well. So that's partly why I like doing it, but really just helping people, training people, making sure you guys know what to do when you're in the field is really what we're here to do in this space. And of course, we've got a lot of changes that's happening right now in 2021 with CDLP, and we want to make sure that you're well informed on that. So that's another reason why we like to have this Monday call, because that training that you take to get certified, most of you all will get certified, but you won't be qualified to really sell. So being plugged into this weekly call, whether you have to catch the recording or whether you're getting on and getting it live, either way, it'll put you in a space where you're constantly getting fed that information. So that's pretty much how it works. I'm a 100K ring earner. I've got 250K ring earners on my team. So I do work the networking space and the small business and the group space and the broker insurance agent space. So I kind of got my hands in all of those different areas because if there's money to get in the company, I want to be able to put my hands on it, whether it's through my team or through activity that I'm doing myself. So that's kind of where it's at. Miss Sharon, do we have Lamar or Randy on the line right now yet?
Yep.
Yes,
I'm here.
both of them are on now.
Okay, good, great. So I'm gonna go ahead and turn it over to you guys so y'all can introduce yourselves, and then after y'all do your introduction, Randy, if you have a handout you want to go over, you can get started on that. If you don't have a handout you want to go over or anything you want to talk about, Lamar can start about what he wanted to talk about, because me and him spoke earlier about some things he wanted to talk about.
Mr. Randy, why don't you go ahead?
Well, it's Randy Hooker. I am been with the company for about 12, 13 years, started in 2008, and have worked all areas of the business. I did a lot of small business whenever I first started, and we've worked a lot of group benefits. We've got a bunch of school districts that we service, so we're basically a full service associate. We're part of the 100, we've got a 1,000 app award. We've got the 50,000 ring, and got some team, and we're working with team and stuff. And so we just been got into the CDL in 2019 really pretty heavy, and I really like transportation because it runs 24/7, and so therefore if you're willing to work it, you can work it basically when you want to. So that's part of it. And the truckers really need our help, and so therefore it's a pleasure going out and servicing and taking care of them and offering them something that they desperately need. Lamar, I'll turn it over to you because I don't have a handout today.
Okay. I'm Lamar Reynolds out of Houston, Texas. It's an honor to be on the call here tonight. And I've been with LegalShield a little over 14 years, going on 15 years. I've been a CDLP trainer for about 10 and a half years. And I've been selling the CDLP membership for about 11 years now. I did hit personal memberships of 5,000 in the first quarter of last year. I'm part of the Special Forces and a member of the Solution Emerald Elites. So that's some of the things that I accomplished by selling the CDLP membership. I do have the 50,000 K ring and the 100,000 K ring that I earned by selling CDLP memberships out there. So I think Robert wanted me to, I was not able to be on the call last week. So I just wanted to make some comments about the compensation as we know it. It's still evolving. And if you click on the email that we originally got after that webinar that we had that evening, when you click on that link, they've updated, they're making updates as we go along. So you'll see underneath the chart there for groups under 200 employees, you'll see the CDLP column there. And the notes below it indicate that those numbers are only half of the commissions that you make. So in other words, if you're like executive director, 2801 is the commission that they have for the first year, but actually you double that, so that's 5602. So that's 5602 that you would make there. And so, you know, you just come down and find your level, and whatever that number is there on the chart, you would double it. So we're still waiting for more details, and there's a bunch of us people that have put our input into what we think about the compensation. So we're hoping there's still going to be some changes done even yet. So we're waiting on, just so everybody knows, we're still waiting on the compensation sheets. And the ones that's in the back office as of this morning, now I didn't check this afternoon, but this morning, the old compensation sheet is still there. So I did call my Solutions Elite person, Daniel Wall, this morning, and he says that he's still waiting on the company to update that. So it's still forthcoming. So we can only talk about the things that we know for sure. So what we know for sure is the commission for the first year. From what I'm hearing, there could be some upgrades in the residual income in the second and third year. So we're waiting to see what all the details are. One thing I know for sure, but before I go to that, when you click on the commission FAQ, the first section of that is for groups under 200. So if you've got a group that's got 50 or 100 drivers or employees, that's the chart you're looking at. So groups that's bigger than 200, that's where you get over to the chart there for the Ruby, Sapphire, or Emerald. You're paid at that level on that particular account. So I may be an Emerald Elite, okay? So if I've got a group that's only got 50 drivers and I write a new membership, it's going to default to groups under 200. Okay, so that particular group's going to pay me out at 5602. So if I'm right, so I've got a group, I've had it for 10 years, I write a new membership in that, it's going to go to the new compensation plan as of 1/1/21. Okay. So that's what we know for now. We will learn more details. So you got to stay plugged in to this call on Monday night. And us trainers will give you more and more information. In 2019, by taking advantage of the bonus monies, I made over $20-something thousand just in bonus money in 2019. Now, if you'll notice, LegalShield sent out the business solution email at 1:00 today. This is how you make more money, okay? By really looking at the incentive and the bonuses. And that incentive, if you'll find that email that came out, I believe it arrived at 1:09 or something like that, Central Time. But you'll see on that for the 2021 business solutions from January through March, there's some real good money that you can make there. If you write $2,000 in premium, you can earn, I believe it's $600 there by doing that. And if you write 4,000, you can go up to like 1,600. So it accumulates. So I would encourage you to read that. And one of the things that me and Mr. Randy was talking about today was the retention, the persistency. And this information is based on persistency, how you keep that business. Okay. And so one of the things that we do know is CDLP is going to be PC qualified. So we know the persistency is going to come into play there. So beware of that. So that's one of the big bonuses. The other big bonus incentive that we've got coming forward is small business. Okay. So you need to really read that and understand that information on small business. And then if you're from Canada, they have new groups open incentive. So they have some incentives there. And then I don't know if Sherranda took the liberty to really go through the small biz plan, but if she wanted to talk on that, she could do that. But there's there's like about 4 attachments on small biz. But one of the key things I wanted to point out to everybody in that, you will have a list of your business solution trainers for that state.
You got an authorization form signed in January and you was never able to.
Go ahead, Lamar.
Okay. So you will have you will have a business solution trainer list. So ladies and gentlemen, here's the bottom line. So if you got questions about any of the incentives, just like for me, now I'll go down and I'll find Texas and I'll look at my business incentive solution guy, and that's going to be Texas and South Texas is going to be Mark Sullivan. I happen to know him. He's right here in Houston. So I've got his phone number and I've got his email address. So any questions that I might have on the business solution incentive or the small business, I can call Mr. Mark, and he is supposed to know all the details if I got any questions. So one of the things is I started to talk to some of the hierarchy in LegalShield is really understanding the opportunity that we have on the incentive and bonuses. And they're really going to put a lot of good money in that in 2021. So you want to be plugged in. You want to understand what your opportunity is and the incentive and bonuses. There could be some very good money there that you can make. And as we learn more about the CDLP, we will share that. And I'll toss that back to Sherranda. if you got any comments that have you looked over the small biz program there? Sherranda?
I was on the training on Saturday, and I'm taking the training on the 8th.
Okay.
The 8th as well. One thing that I do like about the new small biz plan is that it's interstate, meaning that it's not state specific anymore. So, it could be in multiple states. It covers them in multiple states versus being state specific. I know Pat is on the line, New York. They actually got the home based business supplement added to their plans and things like that. I think Nevada as well. But it goes back to when we had the Go Small Biz, when we used to have to say "and" with the Go Small Biz, when we used to have to add the $14.95. The small business plans now don't have any trial defense. You still can only get it in tier 1, 2, and 3, which is so you got the essentials, you got the premium, and you got the pro. So you can only add the supplement for the trial defense on the business side to the premium and the pro.
So we're looking at, if I could just interject there. So if it's a plus, it's $99 there, right, Sherranda? And if you want the trial defense, you got to add the $14.95 to it.
Absolutely.
Okay.
So, and I think they did a great deed when they restructured the small biz, because I think a lot of associates really just didn't understand how to sell it. It was easier for them to say, "Oh, you got 6 employees, you need the $39 plan," versus having that conversation. It was easier for them just to do it by the number of employees, versus having a conversation and realizing that business owner with only 6 employees maybe needed the 89 or the 149, just by having conversations with them. So now that barrier has been taken. They took that away, and now you truly have to have conversation, and the number of employees is not a factor in it anymore. Another great thing for us in transportation, well, I think in any business really, LegalShield they will write up contracts now at a flat rate, whereas they used to just review them. Now they will actually write a contract for that business owner. It's at a flat rate, but a lot of business owners wanted our law firm. That was a question in the field: can they write this contract for me? And a lot of times you would have to, they would call the law firm, and maybe they would send them to the forms and things like that to generate the contract, and then they would just look over it. But now they will actually write the contract at a flat rate, which I think is great. So,
Sherranda, the old program, 39, 89, and 149, that's gone away.
Right. And they're calling it they're calling it the essential, the premium, and the pro.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. But it's not like those old names, because it doesn't have no supplements in it. It's just all business plans.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, all right. Well, that is very good to know. So
yeah. I think it's going to be great. If people have more conversations with their small business owners, they'll find that the new features is a lot of the things that people really want, those new features, especially the contract writing as well. Okay, essentials, plus, and pro. However, whatever, they got a new name. So thank you, Thomas, for that. So, however, it's just so you just pull it and just look at the new features. I think if you've had conversation with some small business people in the past, some of the new features would definitely help. Definitely help. Make more sales. I mean, I know that's one of the things that in the field for me, writing those contracts always was a question. That's just
So Sherranda, is there anything in the new program that's been upgraded from the old program to the new program? So in other words, if I was looking at the plus, is there something, one of the benefits there that we didn't have in the old program for $89?
yeah. I mean, writing the contracts, and now they'll look over contract. So writing the contracts, looking over the contracts, goes up to 25 pages. So, if they had a contract already in place, that business, is 25 pages. Writing the contract is another one. Um, I don't know them right off, but I know those. I remember those from the training on Saturday. So, um,
Well, I think what I'm about to say, all of the trainers would agree with me. One thing that we do know going into this new year, that when we sell a CDLP membership, we want to bundle that with a legal plan. We
yeah,
want to sell every small business plan we can get our hands on. So
right.
yes, we
Oh,
want to
yeah,
take advantage of that. So where you really lose out if you open a transportation account and just sell the CDLP, I mean, it's going to be rock bottom. So what you want to do, you want to bundle that with a legal plan. You want to sell ID Shield if you can sell that, or gun pro, whatever you can sell in there as a bundle sale. You want to do that, and there's just a lot of opportunity to sell the small biz plan. I know Sherranda's had a lot of success last year selling the small biz plan.
and
So
and a lot, and they putting a lot of stuff in the chat. I got on the call briefly on Saturday with Melissa, but I'm looking forward to the training because I know she'll go into depth. But a lot of the stuff that they put in the chat, like they put in copyright, so that's a part of the plan now. Copyright and trademarks is a part of the plan. Um, whereas it used to be at 25% as well. Um, let me see. Research drafting. Yeah, they talked about the handbook. IRS. Um, uh, Sharon, is that 25 hours they get with the IRS attorney now, or you want to speak on that? Um, so I can talk more on it next week, guys, because
okay.
when I take Melissa's training on Friday night, I know that she'll go into details and I won't be multitasking.
Well, I think Sherranda will agree. As time goes along, if you stay plugged in on Monday night, you're going to
Yeah,
learn more about the small business plan. You're going to learn more about the CDLP plan. You're going to learn a lot more about the new compensation plan, what makes it work, and what, the tweaking it, where we're going. So those are the things we do know. We know that we've got to do bundle selling. We know that when out there and transportation, if you have an opportunity to sell small business, do so. The
yeah,
commissions on that is awesome. You can make some big dollars selling small biz. And one thing that we know, these are the small transportation accounts. I'm gonna say, especially under 100, they need that small business plan.
they do. They really
I
do.
mean, I've
And
had,
and
go
they'll
ahead.
they'll they'll buy. They'll pay.
Yes,
I mean, they will pay. I mean, they will pay for that business plan for they pay for those CDLP plans. Because at the end of the day, when you talk about their business, that's what they worried about. Their business, not understanding that those D.O.T. violations are their business too. But that business plan, when you talk to those small business owners, they see the value in that quickly. So,
yes.
yeah.
And so I'm sure Sharanda's had this to happen. I've actually opened transportation accounts with a small biz plan.
Absolutely.
Yeah, sell the small biz, and then that opened the door for me to sell the CDLP and the legal plan. So I mean,
Yeah.
we've got a lot of door openers that we can use in selling transportation. Mr. Randy, you want to make any comments on any of that? No, you're okay. Okay.
Look like I want to say so is they calling it a overview? They was calling it a proposal. I think it's just a breakdown of what it is. So you got research. So instead of just advice now, Lamar, you got advice, consultation, and research in the plan.
Okay.
Um, Still got the designated consultation, which talks about 30 minutes with a tax attorney, international law, the copyright. Um, you can receive up to 5 designated 30-minute telephone consultations now for the designated consultations with the trademark, the copyright, the taxes, patents, immigration. Still got your letters and phone calls. You got your document reviews. I think that might have increased a little bit. Your collection letters. Um, they'll do more letters now for you at a flat rate of $72. I think a lot of this is them adding that flat rate to these benefits, right? You know, so you got your coverage, but then if you go over, you got the flat rate versus the discount, right?
Okay. So
Yeah.
that's a good feature there, isn't it, Sherranda?
Yeah, that flat rate is a good feature. That so additional benefits for the Pro and the Plus is the flat fee services on trademark and copyright. You get one per year now. You get an employee handbook drafting for a flat fee now, and then they customize contracts. And then you got the IRS audit legal service. That's huge because a lot of people used to get that twisted, you know, for the business and on the personal side. Because, you know, we didn't really have, that was at a 25% discount if they had problems with IRS on the business side. And then it's interstate services. I think that's just phenomenal that you can go, that you can have a business out of state and then have the same plan because you used to, it was state specific.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the big one right there, isn't it, Sherranda?
Yeah, I think that's huge right there because you got, I was talking to somebody, Rosalind Thornton down in El Paso. She said a lot of people down, you probably can agree that right there at the border that they doing business across the border and they would have to buy another business plan because it was in another state. So yeah.
Okay.
Yep. All righty. But you know, all of it's in the back office, guys. You read over it. We'll talk more about it. If I pick up some nuggets on Friday night, I definitely try to bring it back to the group for questioning and things like that. So that's all I have. I just go out and sell some plans. We got some incentives right now. If you go sell some small business plans, they got some incentives going on. So you can go on a trip. I think it is.
So Sherranda, Melissa is doing a small biz training.
Yeah, child. Yeah.
When is that
Yeah.
coming up?
This for the fee. This ain't free. This for
Oh,
the
it's
fee.
oh yeah, that's good.
Yeah. So she does small business trainings like for $29. But she did one on Saturday right after the Super Saturday for free. She
For
did.
free.
She went through it. Her and the council went through it. They have a lot of free informational like the Let's Chat. They got the Zooms that they're doing during the week. But on the 5th, like tomorrow night, she has a training. Tomorrow evening, she has a training, and then she has another one on the 8th. She got a couple of more throughout the month.
Is
But
that
those
free?
are for, no, not that. Those not for the free. Those for the fee.
Okay. Okay.
Those for the fee.
All right.
So, but you know, so if you can't get on the one for $29 that she does for 3 hours, the training, the Let's Chat Zoom that she does, the Facebook Live that she does, she's gonna be digging into and talking about it. So you can get it for free, and then when you feel like you wanna, you know, pay for it and get a little bit more in depth, because she'll go a little bit more in depth in the training on the paid version.
That sounds like a good strategy right there. Yep.
Yeah, and plus she has a counsel too that helps her. So if you can catch that Facebook Live and those Zooms that's free, just go to your calendar and catch those, and you can I don't know how long the one from Saturday, it might still be up. You can watch the replay. I know of the Super Saturday, but yeah, just plug into that. She's gonna talk about that, I'm sure, for a while. So
Well,
because
if
a
you
lot of
got that link, why don't you make that available to us? If that's a replay and it's free, that would be something we would all would need
well,
to
they're
take
supposed to
advantage of.
put it in LS Engage.
And LS Engage? Okay.
Let me see if it's back there. If it's back there, I'll put it in there before we get off.
Okay.
Yeah. It's supposed to be
And Sherranda, I guess if Robert wants to make some comments, but
he's not in a place where he can talk really. He's just monitoring the screens.
Okay.
So what we was gonna do, we are at 9:15. We got like a few minutes, maybe for two questions. And we don't come back with no backup question. You ask one question per person to get everybody some turn. So whoever want to ask a question, go. We'll go ladies first. Do we have a lady that has a question about anything?
It's not small biz, Joetta Bailey.
Okay. It's not what?
It's about group. Can we still make a group with one plan?
As far as I know.
Okay.
I hadn't heard anything different. I actually advised the lady before I got on the call to do that. So if you got a group, send it in. They'll let you know.
I got a question, Sherranda.
So hold up, RJ. So far as I know, if anybody knows anything different, chime in, but we still can open a group with one. I didn't see no changes on that right now. Pat,
I know
Sharon, Randy.
Not that I know of. It's still up right now.
All right, so Joetta, you go for it, Joetta.
But you know, you
Wait
wonder.
Wait a minute, Pat. Hold up. Go, AJ.
All right, thank you. I have a question for Mr. Lamar or Randy. On the CDL, the tragic accident, right? And on the business plan, on the personal plan, where you have representation, because we're going to bundle that plans. Can you give us a nugget on that? How to kind of present that to the drivers, and so we can bring value to the table, because some drivers will say, "Oh, I just want CDL $29.95," but we want to bring now the real value to bundle those products to benefit the drivers and us.
So Randy?
Well, AJ, the way I do it is there's 4 areas basically that they need our life events legal plan to go along with their CDL plan. First off is the tragic accident will be covered on criminal with the CDL plan, but it does not protect them civilly if they're sued from the family that lost the loved one. That's where our life events plan comes in. So that's number 1. Number 2, they get their will done, because if they're on the road, if something happens to them, they need their family taken care of. Number 3, they have a 24/7 number. So if they're involved in an accident or being stopped or what have you, it's not about their CDL. They can't call the 24/7 number about their CDL or whatever, but there's other issues that they will be involved in that they could use that 24/7 number. And that's a huge deal there. Plus any contractor document review that they may need. If they're an owner operator or something, they can still have a personal contract, because that's a personal contract between them and the business, not a business contract. And so therefore they could still have that contract looked at. And so that's the 4 things. That's the 4 key things that adds our business plan, or our life events plan, to that commercial driver's plan that they, and of course, if they have children driving, you add the minor children driving, you add the help with their driver's license with the life events legal plan. So that's another one there, but that's not as much as it is the other 4. Lamar?
Yeah, AJ, Randy, you know, plugged each one of those. So when I take the brochure, the legal plan brochure, and I just got through making my CDL presentation, and I say, now that's a ticket program. Now I'd like to explain a legal program to you. And what I do is just take the brochure, AJ, and I go right here to the trial defense. That's one of the nuggets I really cover is trial defense. Okay. So if you're sued, and I always use an example, you're coming up to a red light, you're stopping your 18-wheeler, you didn't quite get stopped fast enough, and you hit the bumper of the car in front of you. Okay, it's minor damage. Matter of fact, your insurance is going to take care of that. But now it's 6 months later, and that person is suing you because their neck hurts. Okay? And I've had 3 cases this past year on that very thing. My CDL driver is being sued now. This is where the life events plan really comes in, because it provides you 60 hours of attorney time in court. And when I tell drivers, you know, if you've ever paid an attorney, it's anywhere from $250 to $350 an hour. So just say 300 is the average. 300 times 60, that's 18,000 there parked there. If you get sued, your spouse gets sued, or your children get sued. All right. So man, they're wide awake now. They've got their eyes open. They're understanding what I'm saying. And then I go right straight across the page over here for the will. These are some of the things that Mr. Randy's talking about. And instead of saying, how many of you guys don't have a will? I say, well, how many of you guys do have a will? Raise your hand. It's only going to be 1 or 2 out of the whole bunch there's got a will. Okay. And I said, how many of you guys have been talking with your spouse about doing a will? Man, hands will go up. Okay. We have a free will for you that's part of this program. It's worth about $750. That's the number I happen to use. I know some other guys use $1,000 or $1,200. I use $750. And so I go through that. And it's a living will. And that means you can change your will each year free of charge. And then it has a medical power of attorney. Why is that important for you drivers? And then I remind them of that massive accident out there in Colorado. I think that's about a year and a half ago. I mean, the interstate was just littered with 18-wheelers and small cars. I mean, there was a lot of lawsuits in that deal. Okay. So a lot of guys went to the hospital. The medical power of attorney would come into play there. So that's really important. And then you have the durable power of attorney. And I explained that to them. And then I go down to the third nugget, the way I sell it. So I do trial defense, I do the will, and then I to traffic. And how many of you guys have children that's driving age? Raise your hand. Okay. Usually there's going to be a lot of drivers there that have kids that's driving. They're getting tickets, accidents. So this is really important. So those are the 3 big nuggets that I usually will hook them on those 3. And then once I go through that, then I'll come back and I'll go through the legal advice. That's free, even if it's pre-existing. Letters and phone calls, that is free. And then I've got a testimonial in that I'll usually take a couple of minutes and go through. And then the document review, up to 15 pages on that. And then I'll cover the family matters. There's a lot of drivers going through divorces and separations there. And then the IRS. So anyway, this legal plan, if you will make your presentation on the CDLP, really explain that program in good detail, and then go into the life events. I'm telling you, I've over at one of my companies, Genox, Mr. Randy's been over there. I'm going to say as high as it's in the 90s, in 90 to 95% buy both plants. And Randy, you've got a group over there. What's your percentage at that group you do presentations at?
We run about 80% or more on
Yeah.
doubled plans. A lot of the time, as close to 90% on them that we sell double plans
Yeah.
on.
So, AJ, I just encourage you to get that down in a great presentation. You probably know the CDLP pretty well. Get that down, lay it out how you're going to do that presentation, and then you just go right into that. And I say, now that was the CDL is a ticket program. This is a legal program, and I'm going to explain why you guys need a legal program. And I also use the analogy because this is an over-road company that I'm selling at, Genox, and those drivers are gone for maybe a week to 2 weeks at a time. And this not only puts a umbrella protection over the driver, it puts an umbrella protection over the family while you're gone. Okay. And they really like that. And so sometimes in selling these programs, it's just a key statement that you can make that's really going to get their attention. But this is just a great plan to sell with the CDLP. And we just have more and more people seeing the opportunity there of selling both of those plans, and it really works well in transportation. Mr. Randy, you want to add anything to it?
No, you got it.
And
Okay.
AJ, one more thing too that you got to remember why you're there. You're there to protect that driver, to keep them focused on the road. And if they worry about issues at home, then that's what that legal plan will do for them. Keep them focused on the road, because just like in group, what we say, keep them focused, productive, and reduce absenteeism. So if they got things going at home that their wife can't handle, or they don't have a spouse, that legal plan can keep them on the road while the law firm is handling that for them. So you got to keep that in their forefront too, that you're there because their job wants them focused, and you have products and solutions to help them be focused. Okay. That makes sense?
Yeah, AJ, I just had a driver that enrolled in both of them, both plans, and he called me over the Christmas holidays, and he said, "Mr. Reynolds, I got some legal issues going on, and I know I enrolled in both of those plans. Can you just tell me who my attorney firm is in South Carolina?" And I said, "Well, I sure can, brother." And so I looked that up, and I gave him that information. And so Sherranda she's spot on. I mean, these drivers need that legal plan, and it helps them with the legal issues. This guy was out on the road, and he was calling me at Christmas, "What is that attorney firm in South Carolina?" I got that saved as a favorite on my phone. And so I find your attorney or find your attorney firm, and I clicked on that, and you can put in the zip code or the state. You can click on either one of them. It'll take you right to the law firm. So that is a great plan to sell, AJ. Sherranda or Robert, I know our time is
I
up.
think y'all made some great points. Like, I always talk about the 24, like Randy just did. Even though we don't promote it, that it covers that CDL, driver, when it comes to the CDL plan. Like if they have an accident, they still can call the law firm, their state law firm. I mean, I promise you, if they call Ross and Matthews at 7:00 because they had an accident and they just confused and things going on, I promise you, them attorneys not gonna hang up on them if they got our legal plan as well. Because at the end of the day, he's still an individual, and maybe like Randy said, it's something else, maybe not related, not that transportation about the big rig, but he still can pick up the phone. That's peace of mind for our drivers, to give them access 24/7. You're not promoting that, oh, our CDL plan covers you that, But if you have both plans, you have access 24/7. That makes sense? Yeah. All righty. We'll take one more question, then we got to get off.
Sherranda, I've got a question. I've got it in the chat box. So with the IRS, that family plan, that is just, the IRS will just cover the family. They're gonna need that small business plan. Now that the IRS is included in that small business, they're gonna need that to cover for their business if they're owner operators, correct?
Because in the personal plan, that IRS coverage did not cover you if you had a business anyway.
Right.
That's what the home-based business supplement is about.
Yep.
So
Yep.
now
But
you have it in the business plan.
Yep. Yep. So, because just to going back to, I don't know if it was one of the field trainers were saying about the IRS that they bring that up, but that's just for home stuff, not the business IRS.
Your personal plan IRS is covers. It just
personal.
covers personal. If you have a Schedule C connected to it and you didn't have a business plan or a home-based business supplement, it would have fell in a 25% discount if you if you had those attached to your tax return.
Yep. Okay. Thanks.
Mr. Randy, you were making a comment?
I said, I was going to say on the business, the IRS, if that will only cover their personal taxes, if they're owner operator and they have issues with their Class C or Schedule C, Schedule E, they've got to have the home-based business supplement added, like Sherranda was saying. And so that's all you need to point out is that's for personal taxes whenever you're going over the plan or anything. If they say, whenever you say we do IRS help or whatever for personal taxes, and they understand that. And I just add in the same comment, if you have if you're owner operator, we have a home-based business supplement I need to talk to you about, and just let it go at that. But they understand it's for personal taxes only.
But yeah, I used to when I cross sell and I shared on this call that I sold the family plan, the home-based business supplement, and a business plan. I was always had the question, why was I overselling them? Because our business plan never gave them the coverage with the taxes. So our home-based business supplement is what covered that individual for their business taxes. And, that never would come across on this call. People would say, you're overselling them. No, I know the plan, and those are the plans that cover them. But now they've put that into our business plan, which, now we can, it could just be that business plan and they have some IRS coverage for their business now. We didn't always have that. So, and I used to try to explain that. And I always got the question, why are you overselling? No, I'm not overselling. The home-based business supplement is the one that covered them for their business taxes.
Yeah. Okay.
So, all righty. Well, next week we probably will open up for some more questions and more Q&A. I know Lamar and Randy and Robert, they'll probably dig a little bit more deeper into those FAQs and have some more conversation with corporate. And some of us have went to the training with Melissa, and so we'll bring some more information back to the call with, if you have some questions, maybe we can get those answered.
Ms. Sherranda?
Yes.
Just one quick question to clarify on the home business supplement and small business plan. As far as owner operator, it is my understanding if you're an owner operator by yourself, you have no other drivers, no other trucks, you would only need the legal plan and the home business supplement. If you're an owner operator plus have a few other trucks and drivers, then you will need the HBS legal plan plus a small business, correct?
Right.
It depends on what your driver needs. Now, we don't have that goes back to you talking to your driver. I would sell my driver $89 plan, which is now a $99 plan with the supplement with the trial defense. because I want, he wants to be protected. Yeah, if he didn't have any drivers, that goes back to count employees and things like that. That's not what we do. We don't count employees. We are servicing the individual. So asking the question, if he feels like he wants to pay for his trial defense on a monthly basis, then you would sell him that 99 and that trial defense. Now, do he qualify for just the HBS and the family plan? Yeah, he does. But he doesn't have the trial defense. It'll fall at a 25% discount. So it goes back to servicing your client for what coverage he needs, not what he typically qualifies for. That makes sense. Who is that, Harvey?
Yes, thanks.
Right.
That made a lot of sense.
Yeah, he
Thank you.
qualifies for that. You're right. He does. He qualifies for that. But is he fully covered if something happens? No, he's going to come out of pocket to defend himself with just the family and the HBS.
Got it. I'm glad I got you to expound on that.
Okay, so I hope that makes sense. Then, and that's why they took away the numbers. You're right. He doesn't have any employees, so he can be covered with that home-based business supplement, because that's for individuals that don't have W-2 employees or whatever, or other employees, 1099s in the transportation. We can do the 1099s. But are you servicing him well by just selling him that, and it falls up under the 25%? With if you had to just share with him that, oh, we have this coverage and you pay this monthly. If you get sued, you have trial defense already paid for. That's a matter of saving him what, $115 a month, and he coming out of pocket thousands if he gets sued.
And I can tell you this, transportation companies need the trial defense, Mr. Harvey.
Yeah.
Because yeah, that clock is just running. It's a matter of time. I might not be attorney this month or next month, but before the year's out, if they got employees, they're going to need the trial defense.
Yeah.
Right.
We got to stop counting their dollars and start serving the client. And I learned that years ago. Because they can afford it. And
right now,
that's the difference, though. He's going to spend thousands of dollars and you save him 115.
In November, December alone, there were, I believe, a half a dozen registered lawsuits of dock workers suing the companies because of COVID exposure. And so you're right. It's just a matter of time. It's just going to expand. I'd like to make one quick comment on the small business plus and pro of the out-of-state stuff. It says half of your available number of services can be used for out-of-state matters with small business plus, and your total allotment of services can be used for out-of-state matters with small business pro. So again, talking about servicing your clients, what does he need? Does he have his headquarters here in the state and all his business is done out of state? He needs pro.
Yeah, it's some differences, and we have to read the fine print. And when we go to the table or go to talk to our clients, we got to know the plan. That's what we got to go back to. That's right. We have to know our plans. And so we're sitting there at the table or on the Zoom or in front of the room. It just serves us better to know our plans, and then that helps us to serve that client. So thank you for that, Harvey. We appreciate that. And so we know more questions going to come up, but just pull it. It's in the back office, guys, and y'all study it. You have questions, bring it to the call. Dunbar and Lamar and Randy, they'll go over it with you, and then I'll just chop it down for you. How about that? No, seriously though. I'm done, guys. I'm gonna pass it over to you guys. Y'all want to close it out? Y'all got anything to say? I think Dunbar's back.
Yep. We'll just give it back to Mr. Dunbar. I'm finished. Randy, you got anything?
No,
okay. Mr. Dunbar.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
All right, good. Right on time. So my background should be a lot less now, but appreciate you guys for answering questions and going through the information on the new plan and talking about the business plan. I hope it's all helpful for you guys that's on the line. Obviously, we was able to get about a few more than 50 people on and to get them caught up. But There'll be another link next week for you guys to have. I'll reset everything for this year and put the link out there so you guys will have that link so y'all won't have that problem next week. Remember, this Saturday, there's a CDLP training this Saturday, and it's free. So please make sure you get on that CDLP training. I don't care if you've already taken it, if you took the one last month, it's free, guys. So unless you got something else going on at that time that you can't get away from, I would tell you to get on it, get some more information on it, because the more you take the class, the better you're gonna get. So get registered for that class before it sells out. Because it's free, you wanna make sure that you're getting the information from Alan and Chris on that call this coming Saturday. So get yourself registered for that. And Sherranda, are you opening back up your accountability call?
But I just want to drop this plug out there for Tyson and those like Tyson. You have to register the day before. You can't walk in on the day of, okay? So remember that. So it's free. So go ahead and register by 3 o'clock Eastern time. Do the numbers on your time zone, but by 3 or 4, go ahead and register because they're going to shut it down because that's ran by corporate. They have to shut it down, okay? So you can't walk in on Saturday, Tyson, and those like Tyson.
Where do we
Okay?
register at?
All righty, y'all. So just
Where do we
make
register at?
just go to your calendar. I'll try to post it out there somewhere, but it's on your calendar. Go to Saturday, and it'll be on your calendar, okay?
All right, thank you.
Training,
You're welcome.
training in top 404, and it'll come up.
Say that again.
You can go into the trainings where the trainings are and search 404 and the CDL will come up.
Okay. Thanks, Randy.
All righty, y'all. So that's, accountability starts back on Thursday. You have to register for that. Again, for people, Tyson and his friends, register for that so you can get the link, Tyson. All right.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome, sir. Just want to look out for you. That's all. Just want to look out for you. All righty. Over to you, Mr. Dunbar. Okay, so Shelton said Mr. Mike Ritchie sent out an email this evening with all the links, Kurt. Check your email. That's registered with corporate.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you.
You're welcome, sir. Have an awesome evening.
You
All
too.
righty, Dunbar.
All right, guys. So we appreciate you guys for being on. Next week, we'll be here, same time, same channel. Just make sure you look that it's going to be a new link. So the email will go out on Monday with the new link, and it'll also be on the Facebook page and the other corresponding pages as well. You can email, text, call if you guys need something about anything. So thanks a lot for being on. And for those that's going to be joining Sherranda this Thursday, join her on accountability call. Y'all can talk about y'all's numbers. So we'll see you guys next week. Thanks all the trainers and all the participants.
Thank you, Dunbar. Appreciate you.
Good night.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, guys.
See you,
Thank
Mr.
you.
Ware.
Thank you.
Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night, all.
All right.
Night, everybody.
Thank you,
Good
everybody.
night, everybody.
Bye-bye.